Okay, so real talk, have you ever stopped to think about how much of your life online is actually yours? Like not just the stuff you post, but your actual data, your identity, your behavior patterns. Because here's the uncomfortable truth, almost none of it is. And I think that's something a lot of us know deep down, but kind of just accept because, well, what else are we supposed to do? That's exactly what I want to dig into today because there's a concept gaining serious traction right now called Web5, and it could fundamentally change who holds the keys to your digital life, not a corporation, not a platform, you. So let's set the scene. Right now, the way the internet works is basically built on a trade. You get free services, social media, search engines, email, and in exchange, these companies get your data, every search, every click, every purchase, every time you linger a little too long on a product page. All of it gets collected, sorted, and sold to the highest bidder. Your digital identity isn't really yours. It's spread across 100 different corporate servers, and you have almost zero say in what happens to it. And look, Web3 tried to fix some of this, right? Blockchain, decentralization, digital ownership, but honestly, it kind of got lost in the weeds of tokens and speculation. The promise of actually owning your personal data, like who you are online, never really came through. So, this is where Web5 comes in, and the core idea is surprisingly straightforward. What if your identity was completely separated from the platforms you use? Instead of logging into apps through Google or Facebook or whatever corporate account, you'd use decentralized identifiers DIDs. These are basically cryptographically secured IDs that you control. No company issues them, no company can take them away. They just exist and they're yours. On top of that, you've got something called verifiable credentials. Think of it like this: instead of handing a website your entire ID, just to prove you're old enough to use it, you'd send a cryptographic proof that just says, yes, this person is over 18. That's it, nothing else. No name, no address, no birthday stored somewhere in a database that'll eventually get breached. And then there are decentralized web nodes, basically personal storage spaces where your data lives under your control. Apps don't get to own your information, they request access to it, and you decide whether to allow it. You can revoke that access whenever you want. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, and I think this is the part most people miss when they hear about this stuff. It's not just about privacy in the traditional sense, it's about portability. Right now, if you build up a following on a platform and that platform shuts down or bans you or just changes its algorithm, you lose everything: your social graph, your content, your history gone because it was never really yours to begin with. With Web5, your identity travels with you. You're not building inside someone else's walls anymore. Your followers, your credentials, your data, it all exists independently. You could move from one platform to another and bring everything with you. That's a fundamentally different internet than the one we're used to. Let me paint you a picture of what a normal day could actually look like. You wake up and log into your work tools using your decentralized ID. No password sitting on a company server somewhere. You hop on a social platform where your posts are stored on your personal node, not theirs. You buy something online by granting temporary access to a payment verification, not by handing over your card details to be stored indefinitely. You apply for a loan and share only a verified proof of income, not your entire financial history. The difference is that throughout your whole day, your data never leaves your hands unless you consciously decide it should. That's a completely different relationship with the internet. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is all figured out because it's not. The biggest hurdle is probably just user experience. Cryptography is complicated, and if this stuff is ever going to go mainstream, it has to feel as easy as logging in with Google does right now. That's a massive UX problem to solve. There's also the question of scale. Can systems like this handle billions of users without breaking down? And then there are the regulatory and governance questions that honestly don't have clean answers yet. If you fully own your identity in a decentralized system, who steps in when there's fraud? Who resolves disputes? How do you hold people accountable without a central authority? These are real questions, and technology alone can't answer them. But here's what I keep coming back to: the reason this conversation feels different from past internet revolutions is that people are genuinely fed up. Data breaches keep happening, trust in big tech keeps eroding, and more people are starting to realize that privacy isn't just about hiding things, it's about ownership, it's about having agency over your own digital existence. Web 5 isn't just a technical upgrade, it's a different philosophy about what the internet should be. A network of empowered people, not a marketplace where your behavior is the commodity being sold. Will it actually work? That really does come down to adoption, education, and whether enough people decide they want something better. But the conversation has shifted in a real way, and I don't think it's shifting back. Your digital footprint is yours. Whether the future reflects that is kind of up to us. If you found this interesting, drop a comment below. I'd genuinely love to hear what you think about digital ownership and where you see this going. Subscribe if you want more of these deep dives, and I'll catch you in the next one.